distance was never a part of this. Impossible to mask the enthusiasm of charismatic fans coming to Louisville every year since 1875. A world war couldn't stop it. A great flood couldn't swamp it.
For the first time in the history of the Kentucky Derby, the horse that crossed the line first has been disqualified.
Just when you thought you'd seen everything, you're going to see something you've never seen before on Kentucky Derby Day. Pandemonium wiped out by a pandemic. They can remove the fans from the stands. No one can remove the thrill in our hearts or the thoroughly determined drive inside the thoroughbred to run faster than the others in a spectacular bid for the finish line where a blanket of roses awaits. It's Derby Day on the Derby Station, Wave 3 News. From the wettest Derby ever to the most controversial ever to the emptiest ever. Whether you bet it or not, we have a trifecta of pandemic, protest, and a postponed Derby. Last year, maximum security was disqualified. This year, the fans disqualified. And there is maximum security in place here in a season of social unrest and protest plans and chance of no justice, no Derby. Welcome into Wave 3 coverage of Kentucky Derby. I'm John Boel.
And I'm Shannon Kogan.
The Kentucky Oaks on the Derby Station. Wave 3 News.
From 50,000 fans on Oaks Day back in 1980 to 100,000 20 years later to about 190 people on 190 acres with 190 horses over the next couple of days. Welcome to Oaks Day on Wave 3 News. Our coverage continues. I'm John Boel.
And I'm Shannon Kogan. We are just thrilled to be bringing you all of the action. We're going to be bringing you race number 7 live in just a little bit. But happy Oaks Day to you. Yes, things are very different, but it is still Derby Day in Kentucky.
No, I was just thinking about last year. Think about as last year unfolded, something we had never seen before, the 22-minute inquiry, people at the windows trying to collect on maximum security. Here's my ticket for maximum security. I've never collected on. As what unfolded after that, I mean, maximum security won 6 of his next 7 races. He's become the stud 4-year-old. Country House, who was declared the winner, never raced again. Retired due to injury. And we keep looking back, and you know what? People still get in arguments about whether that should have been a disqualification or not. But one of the big changes, I've never been able to get any of the stewards to talk about what happened, why they made the ruling that they did. But they came out yesterday and explained for the crowd on the public address system. They took down 2 horses yesterday, and they came out in one of the cases and explained exactly why they did it.
So much more transparency.
Yes, it would have been nice last year, but yes.
Elizabeth Pace, Wave 3 News.
Yeah, so we heard the words strange and weirdness, and we really need to address the elephant in the room here. If you're watching today, I mean, there is a point. Shannon and I went through it this morning watching our coverage where you kind of get depressed when you see these scenes of emptiness right here. I felt this way watching the Belmont, playing Sinatra's New York, New York with empty stands. But our mission here, as we've tried to do all day, and we're going to continue to do through the weekend here, is to inform you, to bring you up to date on what's going on, to try to get you involved, to make you laugh, provide compelling content here as to what's going on in the world around us, protesters, etc. So there's a lot to do here, and we're going to try to pull it off. So stay with us. Don't get depressed. There's a lot of beauty here in what's going on here today as well.
So you look at this race and you wonder, why is the 5 $300,000? Okay, look at him in against the rail. Look at him trying to get through those 2. Can't get through there next to the rail, so he says, I'll swing it out. Oh, 12 drifts over, gets in his way, no problem. I'll swing it out a little wider because I cost $300,000. My dad is Tappet, one of the greatest sires in the world right now, and I got lineage and speed. And then in the end, it was easy. How about that?
There you go. Essential quality showing that he certainly has some wonderful qualities, right? A lot of talent.
Wave 3 News Derby Reflections are sponsored by Kroger.
Every time I come to the Kentucky Derby Museum, you know this machine they have where you can dial up any Kentucky Derby replay? I always go straight to 1997. It's my favorite Derby memory.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby.
Mostly for the call of the race by the great Dave Johnson. The beautiful Silver Charm and Free House, bringing the rivalry to Churchill Downs against the highly touted Pulpit and the late-running Captain Bodget.
And back on the front end, the battle continues with the Pulpit on the inside and Free House on the outside.
The race unfolded exactly the way many of us thought it would, which made it all the more surreal.
And Captain Bodget is flying. He's fifth in the red cap on the outside. Top of the lane in the Derby. Free House gets the lead. Silver Charm on the outside. Pulpit at the rail back to third. And here comes the captain. And down the stretch they come. Silver Charm to the front. On the inside, Free House on the outside. Captain Bodget. It's Captain Bodget on the outside. Silver Charm at the rail. Those two to the wire. Here's the finish. Silver Charm by a neck with Gary Stevens. Captain Bodget.
Goosebumps every time. Got to tell you, I had my money on Captain Bodget, but I didn't mind losing after that great stretch run, and I'm going to watch it 100 more times. Seriously, goosebumps again. I mean, every time I watch that. The thing about Silver Charm that was great, Silver Charm would not let a horse pass him. You saw an example there. Captain Bodget needs to go by him. He wins the Preakness. He would have won the Triple Crown, but Touch Gold's rider knew that he'll dig in and not let you by, and so he kind of waited and hid off behind another horse till the last second and then burst across the finish line. And if you watch the run out on the Belmont that when Silver Charm lost, boom. I mean, he was right back in front. Like once he saw that he was getting passed. And then we saw it again and again in the big Dubai race. Silver Charm would not get past. And that's what I loved about that horse.
Such a beautiful horse.
So we got this beautiful new gate here at Churchill Downs, 20 stalls, so we don't have that gap between 14 and 15 that ends in crashes that takes horses out of the Derby before they even start the race. And we keep dwindling down the number of horses down to 16
now.
With the scratch of Finnick the Fierce, who is really, as they're dragging the gate out right now, Finnick the Fierce, Shannon, was the best story in the Kentucky Derby this year. Mom is pulled out of an adoption facility for horses, mated with Dialed In, a great horse, has Finnick the Fierce, loses an eye, his right eye, and then they put him in the one gate, so he's going to have to start the race not seeing all the other horses out here.
Such an amazing story.
Yeah.
There you go, a win for Florent Giroux on Flabbergasted. John, that was your pick, but it was also everyone's pick because, the odds were 3-1, and then those horses actually all broke from the hole 6, 7, and 8. So interesting, they came in first, second, and third.
Been a lot of disagreement in my lifetime amongst my friends over when a horse acts up going into the gates. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Now, you've probably been told most of your life it's a bad thing, right?
No, sometimes I think it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It shows he's active and ready to go bite somebody and get up the track and get a victory, and he needed every bit of energy. Good thing he didn't act up for like 30 more seconds. He might not have had enough energy to hold off I Hear You and Cecilia. So a great finish in race 7, and we've got a duel like we haven't seen here at Churchill Downs since maybe, 89 Sunday Silence against Easy Goer. We got Swiss Skydiver against Gamine, the headline act today on Oaks Day right here on Wave 3 News. We'll be right back. As I was looking at the number of starts that horse and some of these others here have, I got thinking about this year's Kentucky Derby because, pushing it back. People have been wondering, what is the effect going to be of pushing the Derby back? Going into this year, the average number of starts for one of the Kentucky Derby starters here the last several years has been just a little over 5. They've been relatively lightly raced. However, this year, because we've got so much extra time, they've been averaging 7.5 starts per horse. So they got to get more races in to keep them sharp here for this 4-month delay. And, of course, that's nothing like Charismatic back in the day, who had 14 starts going into the Kentucky Derby. He was already an old man before he got here.
And you're looking at the horses right now that just ran. And
Safi Joseph, trainer of New York Traffic, in 2011 had a 2-horse barn. That's right. Welcome to my training outfit. I have this horse right here and this horse right here. Now he's the Gulfstream Park leader trainer. New York Traffic, a lot of people jumping on board because New York Traffic was closing and lost by a nose to Authentic, who a lot of people like, so a little extra distance. Can New York Traffic get there? Here's Kendrick Haskins with more. Welcome back. Wave 3 News covering the Oaks. Yeah, look in the stands. So you've been seeing things like NBA, no fans, Major League Baseball, no fans, Indy 500, no fans, throw Derby in on that too. August 12th was the big announcement. Hey, we're going to have 23,000 fans socially distanced in here 9 days later, August 21st. Nope, no fans allowed in. Got a nice breeze blowing. Would have been a perfect day for 23,000 fans, or let's say 105 plus like we normally get. Welcome back. I'm John Boel.
And I'm Shannon Kogan.
Nearing the wire, it's Ferdinand in front on the outside bold arrangement. Underway, Ferdinand under Bill Shoemaker wins the Derby by 2.
The stretch call of Bill Shoemaker aboard Ferdinand winning the 1986 Derby does not do it justice. A number of years ago, for the 125th Derby, we did a documentary on the 10 greatest stories of all time in the Kentucky Derby. Had a group of panelists vote on this, and that was number one. You know why? Because what we need to see is the start. There's a great aerial shot. Ferdinand and Bill Shoemaker were in the 1 hole and got absolutely destroyed, repeatedly blasted against the rail till they spit Ferdinand out the back and was last by deep.
Wow.
The whole race, and Bill Shoemaker was able to weave his way, and as the stretch call picked it up there, got kind of into one path, like Calvin Borel used to do, and got up to win. But the story is how he got smashed to a pulp at the beginning of that race and circled the whole field to win.
Wow, recovered so well.
She dares the devil, scores in the Oaks. Swiss Skydiver was second, Gamine was third, and Speech was fourth.
There you go. Many people have been wondering what is the difference between running the Oaks on May 1st, as it would have been, or on September 4th, as has been. We've got a great example of it right there, because back on May 1st at Oaklawn Park in the Fantasy Stakes, She Dares the Devil got beat by Swiss Skydiver by 13 lengths. But flip it. Give these young fillies who are maturing 3 more months to get better. She Dares the Devil's been getting better, won a couple of races, and turns the tables completely. They get good fast at 3.
Yeah, exciting moment.
And here's another weird thing about that. You talk about playing other sports. I spent the day last year for a story over at Keeneland with jockeys, just doing a piece on jockeys. And most other sports, your opponent, you're not in the same locker room. For a reason.
That is so true.
For a good reason, because things get kind of to tempers flare, and you might want to do something. All the jockeys are in the same locker room. You're right next to, in a small locker room at Keeneland.
Very small.
You are right next to a guy that you may feel just cut you off and you're mad about, but you got to get back in there and,
But outside
take care of it your own way.
Of the racing here, they go out to dinner together.
You know, one of the great stories last year, of course, with Monomoy Girl, winning the Oaks. One of the great stories, athletic stories going on right now, getting no pub whatsoever, is Monomoy Girl, going for her 10th win in a row here in this race we're about to show you. It's just amazing. Wins on every kind of surface, every kind of condition. For Brad Cox, who local trainer, grew up just down the street here pursuing his lifelong dream. I was lucky enough to be able to walk along with Monomoy Girl one morning going to the track last year. Just a big, strapping, wide-hipped beast filled with speed. Let's see how Monomoy Girl did in the 11th now on tape delay here on Wave 3.
They're in the gate.